What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we are here with Pokemon Firered to see if I can make it through the entire game with only a single Deoxys. But before we hop into that, make sure you hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications, as well as comment down below and let me know what Mon you would like to see me do a challenge run with next and in what game. But starting off, let's go over the rules real fast. I can only use Deoxys in battle. HM Mons are allowed. No items in battle other than Pokeballs and Hell items, and no glitches or exploits. But taking a look at Deoxys' stats, we did end up with the attack form. So his attack is really good, speed's good. Defense is definitely going to be an issue for us. But on the plus, he does learn some pretty good moves, including Psychic and Psycho Boost. But where it gets even better is from all of the different TMs he can learn. That's definitely going to help us with a lot of type coverages throughout the game. But going ahead, we went ahead and named our rival Zodiac. I named myself in-game Raptor, because this is not about speed. It is about whether I can do it or not, and at what level I was able to accomplish it. But we ended up getting our Deoxys and nicknaming him Neo. I just recently had Matrix on my mind, and actually wanted to go ahead and rewatch the movies while I was at it. But our rival ended up with Charmander. Probably should have chose Squirtle. I think it might have been a little bit more difficult, but we'll figure it out. Maybe Charmander does pose a pretty big threat. I mean, he does take us out in the very first rival battle, which was a little unfortunate. So we're already down a little bit of experience from what we would have been. But let's take a closer look at Neo here, our Deoxys. He does have timid nature, and the pressure ability raises foes' PP usage. Starting off with a pretty decent moveset, but it's time to take on our first gym, Brock here. And I ended up having to go up to level 11. I did try it at multiple different levels, and this run I actually just got really lucky, and has only got hit once. The other ones I just kept getting absolutely demolished every time I tried it, and I would try it 10 or 15 times at each different level before deciding to gain another level, because I was trying to keep my level as low as possible. So now we're level 12 already, but we got to go ahead and grab the Helix fossil from Mount Moon while we're at it. And right outside of Mount Moon, we can learn the TM for Mega Kick or Mega Punch, depending on which one you want to learn. I chose Mega Kick and learned it over Wrap, as it is a better overall normal type move for us other than Wrap. Now, with Wrap, we could have, set up a little bit and got some residual damage, but definitely think it was easier. But going on to our rival fight, Pidgeot definitely not an issue. Neither was the Rattata or the Charmander with Mega Kick, just one-shotting all of them. And then with the Abra, he actually lived, surprisingly. Had to hit him twice before we took him out. But going on after that, we went ahead and got the SSN ticket from Bill and a few levels while it was up there. Now, I'm level 23 going up against Misty, and I was a higher level than I wanted to be. I mean, I did one-shot them with Mega Kick, but, there are just some trainers up there you can't avoid, and with that, I ended up getting a little higher level than I wanted. But we move on to the SSN, and going into this rival fight, I'm only level 24, so the levels kind of made a little bit of a bounce back, still higher than I wanted to be. But the Pidgeotto took him out with the Rock Tomb. One Mega Kick for the Raticate. Now we're at level 25, and we learn Psychic. Definitely going to be a better move for us over anything that's that we currently have. But I decided to go ahead and get rid of Nightshade. I felt like Nightshade was going to have the least use for us in the rest of the run. So I had to think about it for a few minutes before I finally decided. But Nightshade was definitely the best play for us. Going up against the Kadabra next. One Pursuit, and it's down. Next, the Charmeleon was also not going to be too much of an issue. We did miss our Mega Kick and got us all the way down to 7 HP before finally taking him out. So that was pretty interesting there, living on just 7 HP, but I went ahead and healed up. Kind of wasted it there. I didn't really have to. But I just wanted to show you guys the Meowth that I pick up. I pick these up in every challenge run because they do pick up a lot of berries, which can be useful. So you can pick up TMs, power restoration items, PP ups and stuff like that. So definitely worth grabbing those if you're not worried about how fast you're doing it, just whether you can or not. So that is definitely a big deal for us. Now, after rubbing the captain's back and getting the HM for cut, we went ahead and taught it to our first Meowth here, just so we can get it into Lieutenant Surge's gym. Now, after using safe states to get the doors unlocked and trying to avoid the other two trainers, this one is not optional. I do have to actually fight this guy, but I went ahead and I was looking to see if I had anything that restored paralyze, because Lieutenant Surge can paralyze us if he gets in his hack off. So I wanted to see if I had a berry to maybe take that off, to get rid of that. Unfortunately, we did not, and I even had it double checked again just to make sure that I didn't overlook it, which I didn't. So next up is Lieutenant Surge, and his Voltorb goes down with one Mega Kick, getting us up to level 26. Next up was his Pikachu. Again, one Mega Kick, and he is down. Next up was his Raichu, and we just completely one-shot. So even at level 26, we were still way too high of a level, and definitely should have been a lower level going into this. And, it is what it is. But now, going on to Lavender Town, we are now at level 29, and are facing up against our rival, taking his Pidgeotto down with one Rock Tomb. Next up was his Gyarados. And we decided to go for Psychic. He lived on 1 HP, getting us down all the way to 34. I did have an Oran Berry, so we, 34 after our Oran Berry. But other than that, his Kadabra went down pretty easily, so did his Charmeleon. And now we have the ability to learn Superpower, which is a 120 power, 100 accuracy move. And we actually learned it over Mega Kick just for the accuracy. It does lower my defense, which is a little bit worrisome, but that's just kind of how it is. And we just went ahead and used Super Potion before we move on. Now we are here ready to take on Erica for our next gym badge. And at level 32, still over leveled at this point. And I will continue to say that because I could have done, looking back, I probably could have done it at a lower level. But I just kept trying and trying and trying. But here we go. This is actually my first attempt on her, but taking her out pretty easily. Next we have the Giovanni fight. And this fight was actually... Going into it, I had a pretty good idea that, hey, it's going to be super easy, and it's not going to be an issue for us at all. He has mostly ground and rock type, which Psychic's going to do really well against. And we just went ahead and went in. First up was his Onix, taking him out with one Psychic. We're at level 34 at this point. Although his Kangaskhan did live and got us all the way down to 4 HP, which was a little scary. But ended up taking him out anyway. So if I would have been a lower level, I probably would have lost due to that. I mean, maybe I could have got a run where I didn't get hit from Kangaskhan, but still, we went and saved Mr. Fiji, got the Pokeflute, so we could proceed in the game. Next up, we do have the rival fight in Silphco, and at this point, I'm up to level 46, and I took out his Pidgeot, his Gyarados pretty easily, but his Charizard one-shots me, and I had to be at level 46 so I could just outspeed. But looking, I was like, all right, the Psychic didn't work. I can get through the Pidgeot and the Gyarados pretty easily. Let's just immediately try again and go for a different move. I was trying to avoid using Psycho Boost because it does lower my stats. But we ended up taking out the Charizard, and then after that was the Execute and 2 Pursuits. He's down. Alakazam with actually, lived Pursuit pretty well. It took 3 of them to get him down, and being paralyzed stalled out the match a little bit longer, but not too much for us. And next would have been the Giovanni fight, but the recording OBS didn't record it for some reason. It was a super easy fight. I mean, we just took him out and did pretty well. But I did create a save state here before the Giovanni fight. But like I said, I didn't record it. But we had the Sabrina fight next. And Sabrina, I knew wasn't going to be an issue. We have Pursuit. We have a Deoxys. We are a little bit over leveled at this point. But I went ahead and healed up just to make sure I was at full health. Because I did end up running to one of her trainers in there. I just took the wrong step. But at level 48, her Kadabra went down with one shot. Venomoth was up next. And I went for Rock Tomb to take it out in one shot as well. Her Mr. Mime actually lived our first Pursuit on like 1 HP, so not quite a one shot. But her Alakazam did quite a amount of damage, got us down to 45 HP, and then with the Oran Berry, we got back up to 55. So that was pretty easy fight for us. And then we had Koga next. And I was so not worried about Koga. Like, it just didn't matter. I didn't even heal. Like, that's how unscared I was of Koga. I didn't heal. We're at level 49 due to having to take out a few trainers on our way down Cycling Road? Yeah, down Cycling Road. But, we got poisoned and only had 22 HP when the Weezing came out. Could have learned Hyper Beam, but I decided not to. We're at level 50 at this point, but just didn't want to use Hyper Beam because Deoxys wouldn't live 2 attacks. There's just no way. If I got outsped, he wouldn't live it. But next up, we have Blaine, the 7th gem, and probably the worst AI in the game. 1 Psychic for his Growlithe, and he was over. 1 for Psycho Boost on the Arcanine to take him out quickly, as well as the Rapidash because they can hit the hardest and definitely take me out in one shot. His Ponytail lived and got us down to 28 HP before we was able to take out Blaine, getting us all the way to level 51. And now we only have 1 final gem badge left to get, and that is here with Giovanni, our 8th and final gem. And I was not worried about him at all again. I mean, we just absolutely destroyed him the entire game at this point. So it was like, not really too awfully worried about him. So we just went ahead and started off with his Duck Trio, take him out with 1 Psychic. Nidoqueen was next, And down he went as well. We're actually 3 mons in. I don't even remember what his first mon was. Oh, Rhyhorn. No, Rhyhorn's right here. 1 shot there, and that was it. Earth badge is down. All 8 gym badges are done. But we have the rival fight before the Elite Four, before we can proceed to that point in the game. So here we are, and this is actually my 5th attempt at this. I was at level 52. I was trying to get it done here. So 1 Psychic takes out the Pidgeot. 1 Psychic takes out the Rhyhorn, getting us to level 53. Next up is Execute. 1 Pursuit. He's down. We have Gyarados coming out, and almost take him out with 1 Psychic. Now, he does get us down to 24 HP, and we have the Charizard, but Psycho Boost takes him out. And Alakazam, I accidentally went for Psycho Boost, but, you know, I think it was still a good play. He didn't hit us. If he would have hit us, we would definitely would have lost. But moving on to the Elite Four, we now have our first gym lead, or Lorelei, and I'm at level 72. I went ahead and used my rare candies that I picked up and taught Thunderbolt to Neo, and just absolutely destroyed Lorelei. Definitely could have been a lower level for her, getting up to 73 before the end of the fight. So maybe I shouldn't have used the rare candies there and maybe waited to see how I did first. I just went ahead and used them and saved, and I should have waited. But Bruno, no issue. 1 shot his first 3 mons with Psychic, actually his first 4, and his whole team. So Bruno just a pushover like normal. But next we have Agatha. And if you guys know Agatha, she is very annoying to fight in most cases. But her first Gengar goes down with 1 Pursuit. Next up we have Golbat, Thundershock, he's out. Arbok's down with a 1 Psychic. And her next Gengar is down in 1 shot, leaving Haunter, and also goes down in just 1 shot. So that was that battle, and pretty easy. And this is actually the first attempt I went through this. Like, that's why I said I definitely could have been a lower level at this point. So in the future, I will have to wait to use rare candies before I immediately go and try to take on the Elite Four. But we have Lance here, which leaves us with just 2 people left. Lance and the champion, which is our rival. And I went ahead and healed up, as well as used an elixir to get all of our power points back. But let's go ahead and talk to Lance and get this taken out. First up is his Gyarados. Thunderbolt, he is down. Aerodactyl's next. Went ahead and went for a Psychic, took them out. Dragonite will be up next. And 1 Psychic, he's down. 1 Psychic for the Dragonairs, and they are down as well. So definitely 100% could have been at a lower level for this fight. But next up, we do have the champion. And this actually took me a couple different tries. That's why I ended up making a save state before after Lance. And Pidgeot went down the first try. First Thunderbolt. Gyarados went down the first Thunderbolt at level 75. Psychic took out the Charizard. And Pursuit took out the Alakazam. And then Rhydon went down. Next up was Execute Tor. And this is where I ran into issues, was him putting me to sleep and staying to sleep. That's why it took me so many attempts, was just getting put to sleep. And staying asleep definitely caused a lot of issues for me. But with that, we are now the champion. Again, this was not about the time, which is whether I could. I definitely could have done a lower level. It says 52 hours and 10 minutes. That's because I actually forgot to close the emulator out. And that time just kept running and running and running. So it says 52 hours and 10 minutes. It definitely did not take that long to do this. But guys, again, if you do enjoy these types of challenge runs, let me know down in the comment section below what mon you would like to see me do it next. Or even mons, maybe you want me to do a team of just bug types or just, you know, whatever. And I will definitely do that, and let me know what game you would like to see that in. But more importantly, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It'd be so greatly appreciated. But with that being said, guys, until next time, have a great day, and as always, stay safe.